Nema tovu manayim shevet avim gam yachad. Nema tovu manayim shevet avyot gam yachad. Hine v'tov shevet avim gam yachad.
Chag Sameach, everyone.
Chag Sameach.
Welcome to our Erev Shavuot service. Tonight we have the incredible joy and honor of having 4 of our young people who will be our confirmands this year. They will reenact that moment so many generations ago when our people stood at Sinai. And standing at Sinai, they said, Na'aseh v'nishma, we shall do and we shall listen. And our confirmands are our modern Sinai attendees. We're delighted they're going to lead our service. They're going to teach us this evening. They're going to chant Torah. And we look forward to a wonderful evening. Hopefully everybody has a copy of the prayer book that was on the chair. It's going to say weekdays and festivals, and that you have a copy of our program, which has a copy of the 10 Commandments in it. It also has lovely pictures of our 4 confirmands. So please make sure you have that. And now we'd like to invite our confirmands to come forward.
Okay, our service begins on page 125. Now summer's prospect, the world ripening and growing softer, the promise of harvest fulfilled, the warming sun lies before us. Now the vision of Torah, the world at peace and growing gentler, the promise of goodness fulfilled, the loving heart lies open to the mind.
We continue with the lighting of our holiday candles on page 120.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Yom Tov.
Being Jewish has always been a key part of my identity, and something that has affected me throughout my life. But one of the biggest influences Judaism has had on my life has been from the community. For many people in the LGBT community, religion can be a place of hostility and rejection. I've always felt grateful to the Jewish communities I've been a part of throughout my life, that I found support and understanding as I grow up and learn more about who I am. One of the first times I can remember feeling like I could find understanding from this community was when I was 12, during one of my B Mitzvah lessons with Cantor David. I no longer remember exactly what we were talking about, or what part of the service it was for. But I do remember him talking about introducing me, asking me what I wanted him to call me when I was introduced. I didn't know how to respond exactly what he was asking, so I just told him my name. And then he said something that stayed with me ever since. I've thought about constantly. He told me, okay, but if there's something else you'd rather be called, tell me. It's probably an insignificant moment for most people, something he told everyone. But to me, as I was growing up and I was beginning to question who I was and how I wanted to express myself, I felt for the first time that I could really find support within my decisions in this community. To me, that moment felt like an open invitation of support, that if I wanted to take it, that if I wanted to, I could take it. And while I didn't in that moment, there's something that stuck with me. That moment and countless other small interactions I've had with this community, with the community and community members here at Temple have changed my life in many ways. But mainly they've inspired me to show the same kind of support to others. I'm very grateful for the communities that I have found here at Temple. It's so important to me because I feel like I can express myself here. And I know that's something a lot of people are not able to feel in their communities, especially a lot of times in religious communities, because many times people who are seen as different are seen as needing to be fixed, changed to fit into what's normal. The fact that's not something I've ever faced here is not lost to me. I'm very thankful that I've been accepted so freely, and that's also taught me that that's the kind of person I hope to become in the future. With moving away to college, I'll be part of many more communities, both Jewish and not. I hope to take these lessons into the new communities and provide the same type of acceptance and support to everyone that I've met that I found here at TBT. The Baruch on page 1 is on page 130. If you're able, please rise.
You may be seated. We turn to page 132 from our Erev.
Shabbat Olam, our prayer for giving thanks for Torah, is on page 134.
We continue with our song of redemption and joy, Michamocha, on page 142. Please join us.
La 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 la
Please join us for Hashkivenu, our prayer asking for God's protection, on page 144.
This is a little small. I might not be able to read it very well. There's the idea in Judaism, tikkun olam, to be made in the image of God. And while that is a beautiful idea that this group has spent an entire class discussing, I think a more accurate description would be to be made in the image of my community. Some of my earliest memories are from singing Bim Bom in the Solomiki room to proudly showing my parents another lesson book that I finished in religious school. And it's amazing that after everything this community has given me as a child, I'm able to give back to the next generation. Rabbi can attest to my love-hate relationship with Sunday school, but year after year, I keep...
You don't even know what day it is.
Saturday school, my bad, my bad. Religious school, there we go. But year after year, I keep coming back because I love the kids. I love their curiosity about life, about religion, about who they are. And this community has given me so much. It's taught me to be kind. It's taught me how to listen. It's taught me how to be generous, not just with my time, not just with my resources, but with my time. I struggle to put into words what Judaism means to me. How do I explain the community, the lessons, the support that they've given me, that have made me the person I am today? I think this gets to the core of what Judaism is for me. It's a sense of self. When I reflect on who I am as a person in my community, in the greater world, it's hard to separate what is innately me from what is a product of my Jewish community, the TBT community that has raised me. I'm going to be honest with y'all for a moment. I didn't do confirmation class to deepen my connection with God. I did it as another excuse to hang out with some of my best friends and get to chat with Rabbi. But during this past year, I've learned so much more about religion, what Judaism is to me. God means a lot of things to a lot of people, but I think the idea of God that I've learned to connect with this year is the way that God shows up when I spend time with others. For some people, God is a source of purpose, but that's something that I find in community, a little beacon of light that shows me not who to be, but how to be.
Strong start.
Okay. We transition now to the Amida, which begins on page 204. If you are able, please rise as we face east and join together.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Ekaneh Hakol, V'zocher Haserot v'imahot, U'mehigula livnei bnei L'man shelo ve'ahava, Melech ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ezrat Sarah, Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah rav le'Moshiach, Morid hatal, mechakel chayim bechesed, mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim berafek oholim, umatir asurim, umechayem enatol, lishenei afar, michamo hafal geberot, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh, Shimcha kadosh, V'kedoshim yom yahalelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh.
Please take the next few moments for your own silent prayer. When you're finished, you may be seated.
Good job.
Page 228.
Adonai,
past few years, I feel like I've really found myself, what I stand for, what matters to me, what I like and what I don't. While that sense of self has ebbed and flowed as a sense of self does, Judaism has remained a core part of my life throughout all of these years. It's also been a driving force in helping me find a lot of the parts that make up who I am. I found so much of myself through my Judaism, including my voice. While I mean this in many different ways, I first mean this literally. Shabbat service is often the highlight of my week. I find such comfort in the hum of my voice in the hollow of my chest, the music's heartbeat thumping softly with my own, the holiness of the air that leaves my lungs. I think of how much time these melodies and words have outlived, this pinpoint in time part of the much larger, longer story of the collective Jewish people, a story I am and always will be a part of. I feel a special, sacred sense of peace I really only feel in the sanctuary as our voices chant together. While the voice that comes out of my mouth is my own, I feel a weight in it where there is usually just breath. Though my idea of and belief in a God or some other higher being could be a whole separate drosh, I do think this gentle pressure is as close as I come to feeling God's immediate presence. I am grounded, I am at peace. And at its core, isn't that just what God is? Besides the calmness of service, I also appreciate that I use so much of my voice learning about Judaism. I've learned so much about the texts we use, our traditions, and our culture. I specifically appreciate how we're encouraged to analyze, pick apart, and critique our text. Being able to see what the Torah says about what is right, just, or true, and applying that to our own personal and societal values allows us to make Judaism accessible and applicable to each of us. I especially love discussing texts from a feminist perspective, as I've done before and will definitely continue doing. It's important to me to understand what our text says about my place in the world, especially in a tradition that is, unfortunately, inherently anti-feminist. I'm grateful this community and Reform Judaism as a whole encourage these critical conversations. Similarly, I value how much Judaism values tikkun olam and social action. Social justice and advocacy have become a huge part of who I am in the past few years. I'm so proud to be part of a tradition that prioritizes and takes pride in using our collective voice to stand up for those who may be quieter. I've lobbied through Litaken, helped provide food and shelter to the community through TBT's support of Tent City and the Mitzvah Garden, advocated for reproductive rights, and much, much more. When I use my voice to fight for what I believe in, especially through a Jewish lens, I feel like I'm contributing to something much larger than myself, something that will outlast me. All of the ways I get to use my voice in Judaism fulfills me. I feel like my most authentic self when I'm in a Jewish space or doing something Jewish. Judaism makes me feel strong, empowered, loved, and brave. Judaism makes me loud, and most of all, proud.
Wow.
It is said that King David wrote psalms that spoke of his yearning for God, however he understood God to be, spoke of his yearning for the world. So far we've heard 3 amazing psalms from our young people. We'll have one more in a few minutes. But on our tradition, on the holidays of Passover and Shavuot and Sukkot, we recite psalms of praise to God. We're going to do a short Hallel. So if you turn to page 294, let us join together in reciting the bracha, the blessing, for reciting Hallel. And it's at the top of the page. Please join me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu likro et ha'Hallel. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to recite hymns of praise. Together let us read Psalm 117 in English. Praise Adonai, all you nations. Extol God, all you peoples. For great is God's steadfast love towards us. The faithfulness of Adonai endures forever.
Hallelujah, Adonai, Kol goyim, shapuchu, kol bin, ki gavar leinu, chasto v'emet, Adonai, le'olam, hallelujah. Now we'll continue on Psalm 118. Hodu l'Adonai, ki tov, le'olam hastov. Yomruna Yisrael, ki le'olam hastov. Back to the beginning. Hodu Adonai, ki tov, le'olam hastov.
Normally, we only read Torah during the day. There are 2 times that we read it at night. One is on Erev Simchat Torah, and then tonight. Because tonight we reenact that moment when we stand at Sinai and receive Torah. So we are going to receive Torah, and we will read the 10 Commandments. We turn in our prayer books to page 230. And we invite those who are able in body or spirit to please rise.
Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, udevar Adonai mirushalayim, baruch shenatan Torah, baruch shenatan Torah, le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato.
According to tradition, this Torah was given by God to Moses on top of Mount Sinai many generations ago at this exact date. Moses brought it down the mountain to give to Joshua, who in turn passed it on to the prophets and sages of Israel. In every generation, these Torah scrolls have been passed down from generation to generation, from teachers to students.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Gadol Adonai iti, unromema shemo yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagedula, hagivura v'atiferet, v'hanetzach v'hahod. Ki Ko bashamayim uvaretz, ko bashamayim uvaretz, lecha Adonai hamamlacha, ve'min ha'tzek lechol erosh. Al shosha devarim, al shosha devarim, al shosha devarim, olam olam amen. Al shosha devarim, al shosha devarim, al shosha devarim, olam olam amen. Al Torah, they all have a da, they all give me the tasadim. Al Torah, they all have a da, they all give me the tasadim. Al shosha devarim, al shosha devarim, al shosha devarim, olam olam amen.
The Torah portion for this Erev Shavuot is one well known to many of us. It's called Aseret HaDibrot, the 10 words, the 10 utterances. We know it as the 10 Commandments. Now there is a tradition that whenever the 10 Commandments are chanted in synagogue, we rise out of respect for what these words stand for. Interestingly, in Sephardic tradition, in one branch of Sephardic tradition, the 10 Commandments is recited every single week in synagogues. We don't, but we do it tonight. So we'd like to invite those who wish, in body or spirit, to rise while we chant the 10 Commandments. Our students will chant and the commandments and read the English, but first we're going to ask them to come forward as a class and chant the blessing.
Okay, so anyone who wants to touch.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarah.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Sky.
Vaydaber Elohim et kol hadvarim ha'elech lemor. Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher chotzeticha me'eretz Mitzrayim mi'beit avadim. Lo yiyeh lecha Elohim acherim al panai. Lo ta'aseh lecha vesel b'chol tmuna asher b'shamayim mima'al va'asher ba'aretz mitachat va'asher b'mayim mitachat la'aretz. Lo tishtachavecha lahem, v'lo ta'avdem, ki anochi Adonai Elohecha Elkanah pokeh avon avot al banim al shileshim v'al ribeim lesona ve'oseh chesed la'alafim le'ohavai ulshomrei mitzvotai.
God spoke all these words, saying, I, Adonai, am your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods besides me. You shall not make for yourself a sculptured image or any likeness of what is in the heavens above, or in the earth below, or in the waters under the earth. You shall not bow down to them or serve them. For I, your God, Adonai, am an impassioned God, visiting the guilt of the parents upon the children, upon the third and upon the fourth generations of those who reject me, but showing kindness to the 1,000th generation of those who love me and keep my commandments.
Lo tisa et Shem Adonai Elohecha lashav, ki lo yinakeh Adonai et asher yishad shemo lashav. Zahor et yom hashabbat v'kadosho sheshet yamim kavod. Ve'asita kol malateha bayom hashvi'i Shabbat Adonai Elohecha lo taseh kol malachu ata uvinha uviteha aveha ve'amertaha Ve'emtereha ve'keha asher bishareha ki shashet yamim asher Adonai et hashamayim ve'et haaretz et hayam ve'et kol asher bam ve'na bayom hashvi'i al ken Alken bara Adonai et Yom HaShabbat
Et Yom
et
HaShabbat.
Yom HaShabbat
You shall not falsely swear by the name of your God Adonai, for Adonai will not clear one who swears falsely by God's name. Remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath of your God Adonai. You shall not do any work, your son or daughter, your male or female slave, or your cattle, or the stranger who is within your settlements. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth and sea and all that is in them, and then rested on the seventh day. Therefore Adonai blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Kaved et avicha
What?
כבד את אביך ואת אמך, למען יאריכו ימיך. Sorry. יאריכו ימיך למך לאריכו האדמה
אשר אדוני אלוהיך
נותן לך, לא תחצח, לא תנף, לא לא תגנוב, לא תענה ברכה, עד שקר, לא תעמוד Beit Racha Lo Ta'amod No Lo Ta'amod Asher Recha Mato Sharo V'hamara V'cho Asher
Honor your father and your mother, that you may long endure on the land that your God Adonai is assigning to you. You shall not murder, you shall not commit adultery, you shall not steal, you shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife or male or female slave or ox or ass or anything that is your neighbor's.
And now we'd like to ask our confirmation students to recite the bracha after the Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten haTorah.
Amen. We invite the congregation to be seated. We invite our confirmands to be seated as well for a moment. Torah is heavy. It is the source of our life, the source of our hope, source of our help. And so when we have the Torah out, we take a moment to remember those who are in need of healing. Friends and family who struggle with illness of body or illness of spirit. Our hearts and prayers reach out to them. We turn in our prayer books to page 247. As we do, we think of these members of our community in need of healing. Azrael Early, Rohan Early, Amy Thornton, Stacy Hetzel, Jacqueline Tara Smith, Deborah Rose, Eileen Kreisman, Ronnie Haber, Ellen Gottlieb, Vanessa Bianco, Paul McCready, Glenn Less, Jesse Early, Carl Wilhite, Ginny Gaston, Cindy Balin, Patty Newby, Michelle Arrigo, Joni Michaels, Joe Giordano, Brian Ward, Joshua Kornblue, Samuel Navarro Ibarra, Joe Dover, Christina Marie Lindsay, Janine Morris, Margaret Nichols, M. Buktanika, Ron Louie, Barb Carmichael, Jackie Curran, Robin Plotnick, Nina Winokur, Jamie Sanders, Ilsa Wagner. If there is one whom you're remembering who we have not mentioned in need of healing, or if you are online and you want to place the name in the chat, please do so that we can keep them in our prayers as well. For those named and for those unnamed, let us together pray. Once Torah has been read, we lift it high for all to see. We invite those who are able to rise in body or spirit to please do so. We ask our confirmands to lift up the Torah as we dress it.
Vezot HaTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. You're gonna help it out, and then you're gonna pass it to her.
Exploring Judaism has been a huge journey for me. At first, I didn't know what to expect or how to feel or if I even wanted to learn. But I knew it was important to my mom and that it was a part of my family that I had an opportunity to learn about, and I'm incredibly grateful that I did. Learning more about my heritage has been like uncovering a chest of wisdom and tradition. I see things from a perspective that I haven't thought about before, and I think it has helped me to become a more thoughtful person overall. However, it has come with many struggles for me as well. I don't always love learning, so trying to understand something I never considered before was not fun, to say the least. I'm a very logical person, so hearing that the reason that some things happened was just simply because of a higher entity made no sense to me. I questioned if I could even be Jewish if I didn't really believe in a God, but confirmation class has helped me realize that Judaism is so much more than that. It's about using the blessings I've been given to help others, learning about my ancestors, building a new community, learning how to use a sewing machine, which by the way was not easy, but it's so much more than that. I remember from the moment I stepped into the synagogue, even though I was unsure of what to expect, the people I was introduced to helped me build connections and feel welcomed into the community. I didn't feel judged for not knowing much, but rather people helped me and guided me as I attempted to learn the rituals, the prayers, and all the songs and customs important to Judaism at my own pace. But along with the excitement of discovery came even more challenges. Reconciling my newfound faith with the beliefs I grew up with hasn't been easy. Practicing Judaism meant giving up certain foods at first, such as pork, which is a huge part of my culture, milk and meat, which I used to have all the time when I was growing up, as well as giving up staying late out at night with my friends on Fridays and using electronics. There were so many things that I was hesitant to do, but trying them has helped me to find the perfect balance between Judaism and my values and what I want to participate in and what I choose not to. There have been countless conversations with family and friends trying to explain how it aligns with who I am and trying to find people around me that understand. Another struggle came with the fact that as a person of color, I'm already a minority at my school. In addition, I was now also Jewish. Lovely. At my school, there are maybe 15 people that I know of that are Jewish out of over 1,000. So for me, that meant facing even more struggles with being accepted, so I mostly kept it hidden. But as people found their way to me, I have realized that some of the Jewish people at my school are the most kind, understanding people I've ever met in my life, and my life wouldn't be the same without them. Not to mention, there are so many experiences that I'm incredibly grateful for, such as working with all the kids here. This isn't something I think of as a job I'm forced to do, but rather something I get to do. The kids here bring me so much joy, and I'm incredibly lucky to have been able to meet them all. And despite all the challenges, what I love most about Judaism is that it can be whatever you want it to be. And as I continue this endless journey, I know that whatever struggles may come my way, I'll have a community to support me and help me.
Like I said, incredible Psalms. Our service continues on page 250 as we return the Torah to the Ark. Yahalu et Shem Adonai, ki niskav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted. Together we rise and embody your spirit. Please be seated. Excuse my back. I'm talking to you. So, last year on Shavuot, I told the story I'm going to tell you right now. And that story is the same story that I've been privileged to say for the last 43 years. Kind of this Nemitov tradition. The very first confirmands that ever existed were the children of Israel when they gathered around Mount Sinai. While Moses, shrouded in clouds, is said to have been alone on top of the summit and spent 40 days learning and understanding and arguing and listening to this gift of Torah. After receiving God's words for 40 days, Moses stood alone on top of the mountain and searched for a means by which to convey all that he had heard. He decided on a visible symbol, 2 tablets, to communicate God's will. So he ripped these 2 huge chunks of stone from the mountain. And then he began the tedious task of carving the 172 primary letters of the 10 Commandments. As he was about to descend the mountain to give this gift to the Jewish people and to the world, he paused to survey his work. And you know what? He saw that the impressions on the rock were barely visible from just a few feet away. Where, on that dry, barren mountaintop, would he find color to highlight those Hebrew characters? Well, in a flash, he understood what the answer was. He took a jagged rock and he slashed his hand. With his own blood, he outlined each of those 172 letters. And now, having accomplished that task, he brought it down to give to not just the children of Israel, but to all humanity. And the lesson that we learn from this story is that there are moments of meaning that we can discover in life. But they don't mean anything unless we write them with our own lifeblood. Each of you has spoken about how being Jewish, being a part of this community, has enriched your lives. The challenge is to take your lifeblood and to write those lessons for other people to see in the days and years to come. When we give Torah, whatever it means to us, not just lip service, but but service of the heart and soul, service of our blood, when we put ourselves into it, then we're brought nearer to God, whatever that may mean, and we're brought nearer to God's people and to what each of you spoke about, community. In a moment, Rabbi Molly and Liz, who have, along with me, who have served as your teachers this year, are going to offer you a blessing. In a moment, Andy, I'm going to ask you to turn all the mics off in a moment, because these blessings are private. They're just for our children, who are now young people, who are now adults. And so we're going to ask them to come individually up to the ark to receive their blessing. We're going to open up the ark for our young people to see to. We're going to invite the congregation to remain seated. And now, Andy, if you will turn off the microphones. And now we'd like to invite the confirmation class to come forward. Confirmation class of 5784, 2024, as together we sing Shehechianu.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Shehechianu v'ki
We continue with the Aleinu on the top of page
Bless you.
223.
320.
323. I'm dyslexic, my bad, y'all. If you are able, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula le'otzer breshit, shehu sam chelkenu li'ached es shemo, v'gora aleinu l'hamlich malchuto, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, V'nemar, V'haya Adonai L'melech al kol ha'aretz, V'yom ha'hu, Yeh Adonai Echad, U'shamo, U'shamo, U'shamo Echad.
Please be seated. As our service comes to a close, we turn to page 334. As we do, we remember those who are no longer with us. On this Erev Shavuot, we invite you to say aloud the names of family or friends who taught you Torah in the generic sense, who taught you the way of life, who taught you how to live life, to be who you are today. If you wish to, please say their name, rise and say their name, and once all who have had the opportunity, we will recite Kaddish together. Together we rise as a community and we recite the words of Kaddish. Yitgedal v'yitgedash shemei Rabbah, Yama divrach cherutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon v'imechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv yimru amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'olam omei omaya, yiparach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yithromam v'yitnaseh, v'tadar v'taleh v'dalal shemei l'kudishah b'richu. Leila minka birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechmata, damiram b'yama v'yimru amen. Yehei shalama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. O say shalom b'romav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May God who makes peace in the highest of heavens, may God make peace for us, for Israel, for all humanities. Together we say,
Amen.
Amen. Please be seated. Our tradition teaches that we go from Kaddish to Kiddush, from remembering those who are no more to celebrating the essential goodness of life. In a moment, we're going to invite our confirmands to lead us in Kiddush and Motzi, but we have a couple of very quick announcements. We ask your help that when we're done with services to take the festival prayer books that you have. Do not leave them on the chair, but there is a great basket right there. It's a holy basket. We're going to ask you to fill that hole up with the books. Please put them over there. That's number one. Number two, we have an oneg afterwards in honor of our confirmands. It is traditional to eat dairy products. I am told by Nestor we have some awesome cheesecake and some popsicles and some fruit for people who don't eat the other stuff. So we hope you'll join us for that afterwards. Stay from 9 to 10 o'clock. Anybody's welcome. Everybody's welcome. Rabbi Molly and I are going to teach a 1-hour session on ethical wills. There's a tradition to stay up all night and study Torah in the generic sense. I can't stay up all night. I don't know about you. You can?
Yes, I can.
Great. So I'm leaving at 10. You can keep teaching if you want.
All I'm saying is that one year we made it through a meditation with Rabbi Morell at like 4 or 5 in the morning. If you can make it through that, you can make it through anything without fun.
Well,
Meditating at 4 in the morning.
we're going to ask you only to take an hour and
Okay.
study
All right.
with us. Then come back tomorrow morning at 10:30 in the morning. We're going to be in the library. We're very honored that Cantor David Circumpool is going to join me, and we're going to lead a Shavuot morning service. We're going to chant the Ten Commandments again, and we will do Yizkor, where we remember those who have passed in the last year and those who we remember from years past. There will be a festival luncheon afterwards. We hope you'll stay. And then, I got to say it, please join us for Friday night. Friday night's my last service with you all.
Except Saturday.
And I would love to have an opportunity to say goodbye to everybody. So please join us on Friday night. And then Saturday morning is my last Shabbat morning. And so now we are going to Kiddush. Okay, so our confirmands, will you go over here, please? Take the position over here. Lift up the cups. We have 4 of them, 1 for each of you. And we're going to do the blessing. Ready? 1, 2, 3. L'chaim. It's juice, sorry. And if you'll take the challah, hold it. Motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Voices rising, voices. Sanctuaries humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Motzi lechem min haaretz. Take some. There's plenty left. They left a lot for us. So come on back here. We're going to do Oseh Shalom, and then we'll conclude our service.
Oseh Shalom Bimrama. Hu Yoseh Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Ve'imru Amen. Yaseh Shalom. Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom. Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, ve'al kol ha'olam.
Before we end, our young people ought to introduce themselves so we know who they are. So why don't we start on this end? After you finish.
No, it's fine. It's good. It's good.
Real loud.
Yeah, I'm Jasmine. Is it okay?
Oh, I'm Sky.
I'm Sam.
I'm Lucy.
And we say to them, Mazel Tov.
Mazel tov.
We have some gifts for you. You made it through the year. Sky, this is for you. Jasmine, for you. Sam, for you. And this must be for Lucy.
And you've heard me bragging about this before, but they all made their own tully totes. So if you haven't had a chance to come look at them up close, did everyone use a sewing machine in the end? They did. Almost everyone used a sewing machine. Yeah, but everyone knows now how to use
So
a sewing machine.
take a moment. We're done with services. Take off your tully tote and hold them up so people can see.
Wait, this way?
Yeah,
Ooh,
however you want.
nice.
Yeah, show the top of it. Aren't they beautiful?
It's so beautiful.
Okay. Now, we're
Let's eat.
done. Let's go eat.